Cybercriminals could potentially bring down entire nations, so the future of cyber warfare is fraught with danger. National security and economic stability are at risk as cyber threats become more sophisticated and increasingly target government systems, financial networks, and vital infrastructure. In this video, we will highlight some of the key points to consider. Number 7. Transformation of the battlefield. The modern battlefield has changed dramatically from being a place of physical combat to one that is primarily digital and heavily dependent on cyber operations. This change fundamentally changes the nature of warfare by enabling hostilities between state and non-state actors without requiring traditional military engagement. Adversaries can now target vital infrastructure, including power grids, water supply systems, transportation networks, and communication systems, virtually from anywhere in the globe thanks to cyber warfare. Attackers have a distinct strategic advantage when they can cause harm without having to put boots on the ground because they can do so while remaining anonymous and far away. Furthermore, the difficulties of attribution exacerbate the complexity of cyber warfare. Pinpointing the origin of a cyber attack can be very challenging, frequently leaving countries unsure of how to respond. This ambiguity can cause nations to misinterpret actions as acts of war, which can further destabilize international relations and result in escalating cycles of retaliation. Consequently, countries are now compelled to reconsider their defense plans and make significant investments in cybersecurity defenses to safeguard vital infrastructures and preserve national security in a time when cyber attacks can have tangible repercussions. Number 6. Demonstrated capabilities of hackers. The ability of hackers to cause havoc across entire countries has increased dramatically in recent years, as evidenced by a number of high-profile incidents. Cybercriminals have demonstrated their capacity to cause extensive damage by focusing more and more on critical infrastructure. For instance, the 2021 ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline demonstrated how a skillfully executed cyber attack can cause panic and economic unrest by causing widespread fuel shortages throughout the eastern United States. In a similar vein, the attack on the JBS meat processing plant exposed the susceptibility of critical services to cyber threats while also upsetting food supply chains. These incidents show that hackers have the abilities and resources to carry out complex attacks that have the potential to disable critical systems, whether they operate alone or in concert with organized groups. More people now have easy access to hacking tools thanks to the emergence of ransomware as service platforms, which enable even novice users to carry out serious attacks. As cybercriminals persist in honing their methods, collaborating across borders, and taking advantage of fresh vulnerabilities, the possibility of well-planned attacks that could bring down critical services grows. Serious questions concerning public safety, national security, and the ability of vital infrastructure to withstand cyber warfare are brought up by this growing threat. Number 5. Global development of cyber warfare capabilities. The field of cyber warfare is spreading quickly across the globe, with about 120 nations actively working to improve their cyber capabilities. The realization that cyber warfare is an essential part of geopolitical strategy and national security is what is causing this explosion of cyber capabilities. Leading the charge in this arms race are countries like the US, China, Russia, and North Korea, who are making significant investments in both offensive and defensive cyber operations. Among these investments are the creation of advanced hacking tools, the improvement of cyber intelligence capabilities, and the construction of strong defenses against outside threats. Tensions in international relations may increase as nations develop their cyber warfare capabilities and use espionage, sabotage, and other hostile tactics against those they perceive to be their enemies. For countries looking to impose influence or exact revenge on rivals, cyber warfare is an appealing alternative because of its capacity to function as a low-cost, high-impact instrument for accomplishing strategic goals. As the possibility of conflicts turning into cyber confrontations grows, this cyberspace arms race raises the stakes for international relations and increases the likelihood of state-sponsored cyber attacks. Because of the interdependence of digital infrastructure and the interconnectedness of the global economy, the effects of cyber warfare can have an impact on stability and security on a worldwide scale that extends well beyond national boundaries. Number 4. The role of cyber mercenaries. The dynamics of cyber warfare are complicated by the rise of cyber mercenaries, which are individual hackers or hacking groups employed by governments or businesses. These people or organizations have the ability to carry out cyber operations on behalf of states, enabling hostile government actions with the benefit of plausible deniability. As it gets harder to identify the original attackers of attacks, outsourcing cyber operations may result in a lack of accountability. Cyber mercenaries frequently take advantage of gaps in international law to carry out operations that, if carried out by state actors, might be regarded as acts of war. This allows them to operate in a legally ambiguous area. Concerning the regulation of cyber mercenaries and its implications for international law, This trend presents moral and legal issues. Using cyber mercenaries can also make states feel more confident to launch attacks without the direct support of their armed forces or intelligence services, which could lower the bar for engaging in cyber warfare. Because governments may use mercenaries to carry out operations that they might otherwise avoid due to the risks of escalation, this phenomenon has the potential to increase cyber hostilities. The potential for greater cyber conflict and instability in the global arena increases as the distinction between state-sponsored and independent cyber operations becomes hazier, calling for a review of the current frameworks governing cyber warfare and accountability. Number 3. Sophistication through AI and machine learning. The sophistication and potency of cyber attacks are being revolutionized by the incorporation of artificial intelligence and machine learning into cyber operations. Cybercriminals can now analyze enormous amounts of data, find vulnerabilities, and automate the exploitation of targets with previously unheard-of efficiency thanks to these cutting-edge technologies. AI algorithms, for example, can be used to develop sophisticated malware that can adapt to a target's defenses and learn from past attempts to maximize the chance of a successful breach. Furthermore, by tailoring messages according to user behavior and preferences, machine learning can improve phishing attacks by making them more convincing and challenging to identify. Attackers can expand their operations by automating these procedures, launching several attacks at once and focusing on a larger pool of possible targets. The threat level in cyberspace rises as even less experienced hackers are able to launch sophisticated attacks thanks to the increasing accessibility of these technologies. Cybersecurity professionals face new challenges as a result of AI's rapid advancement. They must constantly adapt their strategies and tools to counteract threats that are becoming more sophisticated and adaptive. In order to stay ahead of emerging technologies and safeguard their vital assets from cyber threats, organizations urgently need to invest in advanced cybersecurity measures, including AI-driven defenses. This is demonstrated by the ongoing arms race between attackers and defenders. Number 2. Concerns over quantum computing. The advent of quantum computing poses a noteworthy obstacle to the cybersecurity domain and the wider context of cyber warfare. Due to their ability to process data at previously unheard-of speeds, quantum computers have the potential to crack current encryption schemes that safeguard confidential information. With this ability, hackers might be able to obtain sensitive data, interfere with secure communications, and erode public confidence in digital systems. Beyond isolated assaults, quantum computing could have a significant impact on international relations, economic stability, and national security if it becomes possible to decrypt sensitive data. The need for creating encryption methods that are resistant to quantum technology is growing more pressing. While new cryptographic algorithms that can withstand the power of quantum computing are being actively developed by researchers and cybersecurity experts, it will take time and significant funding before these solutions are widely adopted. Proactive steps to protect data and infrastructure are essential, as quantum computing has the potential to alter the rules of cyber warfare. To reduce the risks posed by this new threat, countries must prioritize research and development in quantum-resistant technologies and set global standards for quantum cybersecurity. Number 1. Importance of international cooperation. In order to improve global cybersecurity and reduce risks, international cooperation is crucial given the growing threats posed by cyber warfare. Because cyber threats are transnational in nature and the global economy is interconnected, an attack in one nation can have repercussions throughout the entire world. In order to increase member state resilience against cyber threats, organizations such as NATO are actively working to strengthen collective cyber defenses by exchanging intelligence, resources, and best practices. Furthermore, since the private sector owns and runs a large number of vital infrastructures, governments must work with the private sector. In order to maintain stability in cyberspace and lessen the possibility of conflicts stemming from cyber incidents, it can be helpful to establish explicit norms and agreements regarding cyber conduct. The significance of international collaboration in combating cyber threats and promoting a safe digital landscape is underscored by campaigns like the Paris Call for Trust and Security in Cyberspace. Through the promotion of cooperation, countries can enhance their readiness and agility in the dynamic domain of cyber warfare, guaranteeing that their vital infrastructure and populace are safeguarded against malevolent cyber operations. Establishing a framework for accountability, deterrence, and resilience in the face of increasingly complex cyber threats will require this cooperation. The potential for hackers to take down entire nations is concerning given the direction that cyber warfare is taking, especially as these tools become more advanced and pervasive. Thanks for watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe.